Hello, everyone. My name is Angela Searcy. I am the Title I Parent Engagement Coordinator. I want to thank you all for being with us. Tonight, we are having our Family Math Night, and we have some of our wonderful Jackson Madison County teachers here who will be introducing themselves and sharing some great information with you here in just a few moments. Let's start with our first grade representative. Could you please introduce yourself?
Hello, I am Karen Phelps. I am Title I consulting teacher. I actually purchase resources for several different schools. I have taught several grade levels, and I am just glad to be here for our math family night.
Angela, you're muted.
Okay, and now we're going to go to our kindergarten representative.
Hello, my name is Cheryl Curry, and I currently teach kindergarten at Isaac Lane Elementary, and I'm so excited to be here at this math workshop.
Thank you, Cheryl. Glad to have you. And our second grade.
Hi, I'm Christy Austin, and I teach second grade at Denmark Elementary. I've also taught fifth grade and sixth grade as well as first grade. This is my 20th year teaching, and I'm looking forward to this math night virtually.
Okay, and we have our third grade teacher representative, and then we'll have our fourth through sixth grade teachers come on and introduce themselves after Miss McGee.
Hello, I'm Mrs. McGee. I am a third grade teacher here at Arlington. This is my first virtual math night. So I find it interesting that I am here. I'm enjoying it, being in front and presenting to others and being that helpful person to help these wonderful families we have. You're muted.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you so much. And now we have two wonderful ladies who have been presenters for the past, I want to say, 5 years, possibly. They have represented the schools, and now they are district level math support coaches. They'll give you their official titles, but we're very happy and fortunate that they're with us tonight. Jennifer, could you go ahead and introduce yourself, please?
Sure. My name is Jennifer White. I'm the academic coordinator at Isaac Lane Elementary School. I also serve as the elementary representative for the district math team. I've taught for, this is either 23 or 24, I've kind of lost count. But I had the privilege to attend a week in Atlanta, Georgia with the writers of our Eureka curriculum, where we spent time looking at the curriculum all the way from kindergarten through high school, and which led to me also being a district trainer for our Eureka curriculum. This is my first year out of the classroom, but I spent the last 5 years teaching 4th, 5th, and 6th grade Eureka at Community Montessori.
Hi, I'm Michelle. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Michelle.
Hi, I'm Michelle Griffin. I teach at South Elementary, 4th grade math. I'm also a math coach for the district. I went to the Eureka training with Miss White in Atlanta. So we've presented different PDs across the district. So I've also helped Miss Searcy with Family Math Night for the last 5 years, like she said. So just glad that you're here tonight.
Thank you, ladies. I still feel very honored that each of you has taken time out of your schedules to be here to share information with our families. Now we're going to go ahead and allow these teachers to share their resources. And after they share their resources, we will have them available for you and you'll be able to access them. And if you need further information, you can contact me, and I do have contact for each of these teachers. So after the teachers share their tidbits and information, then I'll come back and share with you some take-home materials, which I can deliver to your child's school, or you can pick up at our Family Resource Center. I do want to say that our our Family Resource Center received a grant from AmeriGroup, and they have allowed us to purchase additional materials that Title I funds don't provide. So we do have a representative, Madeline Mays, and so through their partnership, we're able to provide even more resources for our families. So with that, can we go ahead and Miss Curry, our first grade teacher, kindergarten teacher, right, Miss Curry? Yeah, Miss Curry, could you go ahead and give the families or parents who may be watching, could you share with them some information?
I would like to share some tools that you can use at home to teach your child math. You can get these items from the Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Walmart, and these are things that you can do at home to help your child. Some manipulatives like pom-poms, connecting cubes. You can use beans in your kitchen to help them count math. You can also use M&Ms, candy. They love candy. So these are things that you can use at home to help them with their math skills. Also, I want to share two websites, abcia.com and starfall.com. Those are two great websites to use at home.
Thank you, Miss Curry. Thank you for that information. And we will make those websites available to you. And Miss Curry, can you put those websites in the chat box for me?
Yes, ma'am.
If you could just write them down for me. Okay. Yeah, Miss Curry's talking about having those babies, I call them babies, those kindergartners sort those pom-poms and different materials by their attributes, and be it the colors or shades. That sorting is kind of pre-geometry type skill. So, all right. Next, first grade. Miss Phelps, can you share some information with us?
Yes, I have it's a Eureka Math online resource. It's called embark.online. And on this website, there are tabs at the top of the website where parents can click on the grade and then search the module and lessons. And it's a wonderful resource. There are videos you can download, games, skills, activity skills. It's just full of great resources for not only just first grade, but all grades. But it is a wonderful resource, and just has a lot of great tips and information that parents can use along with homework as well. So.
Thank you, Ms. Phelps. And if you'll add your information, if all our teachers will add any websites they have, those to the chat box, and I'll be able to look them up. Okay. Miss Austin, can you go ahead and share with us?
Yes, ma'am. For second graders and even first graders, I'll piggyback off of Ms. Phelps. The best thing that you can do at home to help your kids be prepared for second grade and to do better at school is another fluency facts. There are addition and subtraction fluency facts, and there's a lot of things you can do to help that home. I mean, when you're in traffic waiting for to go home, you can practice addition fluency facts or subtraction. You can buy flashcards at Dollar Tree or anywhere you can pick those up. But that's very helpful so that the kids will have those memorized as opposed to having to count their fingers. Also, too, maybe you can have a family game night, so that you one really good game that you can play that teaches addition and subtraction is Yahtzee. That helps the kids with addition and subtraction, and just be really hands-on with your kids when it comes to math, because math is really hands-on. At the grocery store, have them find them some items. Say, okay, well, you have $10 to spend. Find 3 items that equal to $10. You could allow them to help you cook and add ingredients together. And also, my kids in my classroom really love Cool Math, and so that's another website they could get on and practice their skills that they need for 2nd grade. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Austin. I have one that likes Cool Math. He got on it during our last snow day, so I know that's a good one for myself. And I think you mentioned Yahtzee. A lot of people don't play Yahtzee anymore, but when you mentioned Yahtzee, I thought about Connect Four and Uno, other games that children can play that are fun, family games that are still learning games as well. So,
and I have a game like in my classroom that we played. You remember when your son was in my class? It's called Snakes, and it practices the addition facts. And I can also send you that resource so parents can link to it. They could print it off, or they could actually make the game board themselves. It's really easy.
Yeah, and they can get the dice at the Dollar Tree as well.
Right, and it's just a really good intervention for addition facts.
And we're talking basic addition facts, but those are all precursor skills. If kids and students can get these skills early on, addition, subtraction, those will just help as they go into the upper grades moving forward. Recipes are also, I just don't want to forget at the end to talk to are a great way for students of different ages to practice math. A lot of times everybody thinks math is just sitting down doing worksheets, but it's really a part of everyday life in your home. And so assisting with cooking, measuring, and all those things are also very helpful to students learning math. So next, I think are we to our 3rd grade teacher now?
Yes, ma'am.
Miss McGee.
I had made a little cutesy dootsy flyer, but it had the websites, of course, and all that. Embark Online, that's always a great tool to use. I'll throw in YouTube as well, because they have the module, the lesson. So always be sure you know the module your child is on, know the lesson, and then that'll be a great tool for you to just type in and look up, and they have videos that'll help you out along the way. Clever.com, let your student work in their learning path. Some teachers, well, I know I do, I assign extra lessons. If I know your child is struggling, I'll give them extra practice on that. So be sure to let them use that. 3rd grade is where multiplication starts. It's a whole lot different from how we taught it. It's no more basic learning or remembering the facts. You got to apply concepts along the way as well. So be sure you know how to solve the problem, work it out, and show your work. It's always big. RDW, read it, draw it, write it out. So that's great for them to know, a good tip. And you can just do multiplication facts as you're writing, just like basic addition. Give them 2 numbers. It's plenty of songs. I teach my students about using your fingers with 9 and solving like that, or I tell them 0 to 9, 0 to 9. It's cutesy songs that we can do still. You can find those on YouTube as well. And they remember the song, so it's easy for them as they go along to count, to find those factors along the way. So fractions, Miss Cersei was talking about recipes. Now we're on fractions, and that for sure is a way. Half a cup of this, half a cup of that, a fourth of that. So you can throw that in and just let the students know, hey, it's real world things that you're not just learning it to know it and move on. You can apply it elsewhere outside of school. I have another little flyer, just tidbits on things you can do hands-on math. Miss Cersei has that. If you would like it, you can ask her for that. And also just anything you can do with multiplication. You got some Skittles. How many red ones? How many blue ones? Sorting and then still multiplying at the same time. Grouping, things of that sort. Make a chart. Just have fun with it as you go along. So that's it for me.
Well, Mrs. McGee, I know you're going to get me, but for parents who watch this, when you're talking about 0 to 9 and signs of 0 to 9, can you elaborate or explain it a little different so I know if a parent
Okay,
asks me?
say if our sixes, we sing a song, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60. So it's a little beat that we have 7, 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, and then on up like that. So the more repetitious they are with it, the better they'll be, and they can sing the song. Even with your nines, say I turn my hands, and can y'all see me? So if I wanted a 9 times 2, I'm gonna say 1, 2, put that finger down. What's on that side?
Gotcha.
1, what's on this side? 8. So 9 times 2 is 18. You can count all the way across. Easy guide for you to use like that too.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Next we have our 4th grade.
Hey, so a lot of parents ask me all the time, they only understand the standard way of working a problem. They don't understand all the strategies that we use in our curriculum. So we talk about things like area models and partial products and things like that. So vocabulary is huge. So the parents don't understand. So a lot of times I'll have the parent that tell the student, say, give your parent the problem, and then you just sit on the other side of the room and both of you work it. Like your parents work it the way that they know how to do it, and you work it the way you know how to do it, and then meet back in the middle. And then I try to tell the kids, you're so much smarter than your parents now because they know one way and you know like 4 ways. And they're like, oh man, I'm smarter than my mom, or whatever. So we try to just make it into a game. And that makes the parents feel better too because they're seeing what they're learning in school. A great homework helper that I'm fixing to put in the chat. If you go to this website that I just posted, it has videos of all the homework pages because I know when the workbooks go home or homework goes home, the parents are confused. It'll work one problem of every type of problem that's on the homework. It doesn't work them all, but one example of each. And it just gives the parents an idea of how we are teaching it in the classroom. In my room, I use a lot of Cheerios, a lot of M&Ms, because our curriculum wants us to draw circles and use place value disc. So we eat a lot in our classroom, in my classroom. But you can, math can be fun. The curriculum is great. It's actually like when we were kids, we were just told what to do, not why it was done that way. And our curriculum teaches why that one is carried in addition or subtract, or in addition or whatever we're learning. It's the why, like why are we doing it instead of just how we are doing it. So yeah, just check out that website and it'll be some great homework help.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, Mrs. White, could you share with us?
Sure. So I'm going to talk to you about 5th and 6th grade. For all the websites that have been shared are ones that I would suggest. Multiplication.com is also an additional resource with multiplication. I want to kind of stress what Miss McGee was saying. If your students do not, or your children do not know their multiplication facts, they are going to struggle in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. In 5th grade, they get introduced with long division with decimals and unlike denominators and equivalent fractions. And equivalent, you cannot find same fractions if you do not know multiplication. That's very difficult. They also have to learn how to simplify a fraction in 5th grade. And simplifying a fraction is difficult if the students do not understand multiplication and division, just the basic facts. I can't stress enough about the cooking. because measuring with fractions is a great way for students to see real life fractions in action, and even talk to them about let's double the recipe, because they do multiply fractions and divide fractions in 5th grade. So if we can say, let's double the recipe, or can we cut the recipe in half? That is one real world way that they can see fractions in use. The other thing I would stress to your kiddos is we are, as a nation, use debit cards all the time. So they don't get a lot of use with money. And understanding money is a great way for them to understand decimals. And in 5th grade, they are going to start using decimals. So to understand your tenths and your hundredths, just having them write down dollar amounts and maybe even counting change and actually writing it and seeing how they put the decimal will help them understand and recognize decimals. That's introduced right at the beginning of 5th grade. So letting your kids see money, loose change around the house, and letting them understand that a penny is 1/100th of a dollar. It takes 100 to make a dollar. That will help decimals make more sense to them when they get introduced to those in 5th grade. And like I said, fractions, multiplication, and division are huge when it comes to 5th grade math. For 6th grade, what I would stress for you to do is percentages in the store. So when you take your kids shopping and something is on sale, talk about that, because they actually do purchase paid and then sale amount of discount and stuff like that, because they learn ratios in 6th grade. And so understanding how much you're going to pay if a shirt is 30% off. Have those conversations. Another thing is when you're in Walmart, unit rate is something that they talk about in 6th grade. And on the stickers, a lot of times they're like, oh, I want the bigger box. But you're on the stickers in Walmart, for the price, they'll tell how much you're paying per ounce. So have them look at the prices and see which one is cheaper or more expensive per ounce, because they will actually be working problems like that in 6th grade. So you can have those conversations when you're walking down the aisle and they're wanting to buy a box of Lucky Charms, and there's 3 different sizes of Lucky Charms. So look at that per ounce to see what is the better price, because that is actual math that they're going to be doing. Also, in 6th grade, they're introduced to positive and negative numbers. And so when you use your debit card, you can talk about how you're actually taking money away. When you drop money off at the bank, and you can talk about that, you know, you're depositing. They have to know words like credit, debit, withdrawal, deposit. Those are all some of the vocabularies. And most of the time your kids are with you when you do some of that kind of stuff. 6th grade is nothing but pretty much real world math. It's math that you use every single day. In addition, for 6th grade, talk about temperature, because that when learning about positive and negative numbers, they start to understand increase in temperature. Today we had a major decrease in temperature. So kind of even talk about those things, letting them hear vocabulary like that in our everyday talk. Let them watch the weather. The weather is excellent in talking about changes in temperature, and they'll hear terms like sea level, above and below sea level. Those are terms that they have to learn in 6th grade math. And then they also work with ratios, where the fractions will help with the ratios as well and finding equivalent ratios. So again, stressing the need for multiplication and division, because 4th, 5th, 6th grade math is going to be very difficult if a child does not know their basic multiplication and addition facts. And then when you're talking about numbers, I would even just ask my children, I keep calling them students because that's what I call them every day, but your kids, just having them writing numbers, just say, because place value is very difficult in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade because of larger numbers. Practice with them saying, write 346,452. Just call out some random numbers and see if your kids can write larger numbers, or you even write them and have them read them. That's a big skill for 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, and also putting those decimals in there as well. Those would be my big tips for those grades.
So when do word problems come along with the parents who are concerned and talk about the struggle they have with students doing well with the word problems?
Word problems are introduced as early as kindergarten and 1st grade.
Mm-hmm.
It's in every one of our lessons, and I want to stress, just like Miss White and Miss McGee said, multiplication is huge. And if they don't have those basics and they don't memorize those facts, that's just going to be something that they're going to struggle with, because it's used in, of course, the multiplication, the division, the fractions, just through on that. I mean, all the way through their math career. So please help your student learn those facts. I see such a difference with kids that know their facts and how they succeed in class versus those that really struggle.
And I kind of want to add too with that, for even the parents that have 1st graders, in 1st grade, they learn to skip count. And so when you're in the car, if you can teach her, just driving around, let's count by 2s, or when they're getting dressed in the morning, let's count by 3s, let's count by, that will make a big difference for when they go into 3rd grade and they're learning those facts and realizing it's repeated addition. But just counting with your kids, that's something as early as before they start kindergarten, learning how to count and that skip counting. It's really like, we're getting ready to walk to the door, let's count by 3s, or let's count by 5s, let's count by 10s. That will help learning multiplication facts really early, and that's something that they actually practice in 1st and 2nd grade.
Anybody have anything they want to add or anything that they wanted to share?
I would like to say in kindergarten, they can also count too, like going up the steps, going down the steps, when they're going on the track, just practicing orally counting. That is very good for kindergarten skills.
And I will speak a little bit to some students who are in the YES class or have special needs. There are opportunities for them as far as any other student. Math, they may struggle with reading in other areas, but math can be an area where they can really excel. When you are a mom who is in a hurry and you buy microwave meals and things like that, looking at the back of the box, they have the numbers teaching your child to use the microwave with supervision. It tells you how many minutes it needs to cool, how many minutes to set the timer. Your oven, some of our ovens have timers. If you look around your kitchen and you pull out cans, there are directions on how to do anything. So even if your child's not actually helping you cook, there are things that they can do as far as knowing how many eggs to get out or how many this or whatever it even calls for, even before they get to helping with the measurement piece. But there's nothing wrong with, if your child struggles, to letting them use a calculator so they see the number and they know the operation to use to get to the answer. I know that you all are teachers. I know sometimes they're allowed to use them and sometimes they're not, but looking at the tools you have, rulers at your home, having math related materials around and using them to help your child just be immersed. We talk about print rich environment and reading with your child every day, 20 minutes. Think about math, even with laundry, sorting the socks match and looking at what you have in every aspect of your home, from starting your car, the speedometer, if they're sitting to where they can see it, with pumping your gas with assistance, depending on how old your child is. And like we talked about using the debit card, they're just things children can do according to their level and ability, where they do see the numbers and they associate the numbers with real life things, from menus at McDonald's or in drive-thrus. They're going to see numbers and process everything.
One of the other things too, telling time.
Yes.
Yes.
That's really big. So if you have clocks in your home, even I know a lot of our clocks now are digital, but a lot of people have Apple Watches, and Apple Watches let you change whether you want to have digital or the traditional clocks. But the analogs, and just in the house, hey, we're leaving, a lot of our cars now have time on there, asking them questions like, okay, it says 3:05, what time will it be in 10 minutes? Or how long did it take us to get to school? That will help them they start telling time in first grade and understanding a clock, but they go all the way through third grade with time. So bringing up a clock, what time are we leaving? What time are we getting back? What does this clock say? And if you can get an analog clock and not just all digital, that would be great as well. Or if you're in a store and you see what time's on the clock, that's really good too.
Yeah.
And discussing the days in the week in the calendar.
Yep. And even your remote, when they know they want to watch a certain show, having them use the remote to punch in the numbers or record it at this time. Kids are very technological, regardless. You think they can't do certain things, and they just, if they're motivated, they're going to get in there and do it. And surprise you.
I know the word problems. Like I teach my students to look for keywords that tells them which operations perform. And I really like Eureka because it does the RDW process, and my kids have that really ingrained. It's where they read it, because a lot of times, I know with my students, and I probably was guilty too, you rush through the problem reading it, and you don't take the time to break it apart and dissect it. So I teach my kids to really dissect it and then make sure that they go back and highlight words that help them know what to do and circle their numbers, and just really break apart what is asking you. Because I think they see the word problems and it intimidates them, but if they break it apart, that helps a whole lot. And then they have to write, the read, draw, write, and
RDW,
I really like that.
Draw. Okay.
And piggyback, I do the same thing. I have mine underline the numbers and what go with it, and I say circle your verb. Because if you see those two things, and you'll remember what they're asking you to do, what you should be doing, and just as a refresher and a reminder too.
And that was RDW, right?
Yes.
Read, draw, write.
And that strategy is carried out all the way through, even in middle school.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do have some resources available for families that came in person to the training, and those of you who do watch the training virtually. I know some of our presenters talked about writing, math, writing numbers, and this has different things that students can write, word problems, number facts, and I have it for 5th through 8th graders, 5th through 8th, and then I have it for K through 5, the workbooks. And then we have dry erase boards, usually, with multiplication, division. Usually we just have the plain ones. I have no idea what direction it's going in. But anyway, you get an idea. And then we also have those with graphs as well, the larger ones with the plain side where I've taken notes. But to support your students' learning, we have had Eureka Math homework helpers, the large books, and I can share with parents where to get those. But we have lots of resources available to you at the Resource Center, other than the things I just showed you here, just to help if you have school supplies that you still need for extra practice at home. A lot of times this time of year, all those beginning of the year school supplies are gone, and kids need pencils, paper. So you can start back up for this last quarter of the year, and just know if you need further assistance that we have these wonderful teachers that I can connect them to, and your child's teacher knows their performance best. So always, if you have concerns about your child's performance, don't wait. If your child is struggling, and the teachers will probably tell you, don't. The earlier you address the concerns, the better. So I know we just had parent teacher conference. If you were not able to attend, still contact your child's teacher. I know I've heard the phones don't work, this doesn't work. Utilize me if you need me to reach out to your teacher for you. Don't wait until you're angry and frustrated. And I'd say the math mindset is something that I have heard people talk about for years. I hate math. My child can't do math. I can do it. I don't, I don't entertain that. I believe if you think you can do something and you work at it, you will do it. Everything is not easy for everybody. We all have different strengths and weaknesses, but math is only difficult if you allow it to be. There's strategies and there's a process to learning math. And if you work with your child, like any other thing, some things might come easy for your child and other things may be more challenging. But as a parent, if you say, I know you can do it, I believe you can do it, I can help you, we can get the resources, but your child does have to put in the work and they have to tell you they need help. So communication, and I know I'm one parent who is sympathetic or whatever, but empower your children, empower them and let them know. No, I believe you can. Don't allow them to to tell you what they're, I just don't believe I can do it. Just make sure, especially if you get that mindset when they're in kindergarten or early on, so that they have it's okay if they struggle with something. Struggle is good, but you want them to master these skills early from what I've heard from the teachers so that they're not ongoing issues when they don't have the precursor basic skills they need. Teachers, do you all have anything as we get ready to wrap up this portion? Okay, I'd like to thank each of you all for being here with us tonight. Thank you, Jackson Madison County. I'm going to call you the Elite Eureka Math or Family Math Night presenters. It's been an interesting evening and one that has been very memorable. I've learned something from each of you all tonight, from counting steps and everything that I'll be able to share with families and parents. I hope that you enjoyed this conversation of resources to help your child continue to develop their math skills. You all have a wonderful, wonderful day or evening. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.